Hey, what's going on? Welcome to my channel, Days in Luck. My name is Spade Parkland. Thank you for clicking on the video. Before we get started, according to my analytics, most of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. So don't forget to hit the subscribe and click the notification bell and make sure you select all so you don't miss out on any of my uploads or live streams when I do go live. Also, please thumb up the video and hit the super thanks if you want to donate and support the channel. You can also support by sending donations through Cash App, that's $Spade Parkland. Join the channel membership by clicking the join button that's to the left of the subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on members only perks. Please hit share and share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. After you're done watching, I'll see you in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Ray J is looking like a whole clown out here. He was talking tough about Fabulous when he called into the Breakfast Club, and now he's out here getting ready to throw down with Diddy's sons. The reason why it's funny is because when he was talking tough about Fabulous, he was throwing around names like Diddy's got his back, he's with this person, he's with that person, and now fast forward to 2024, Diddy's sons have run up on him and he's getting ready to fight outside of a club. Diddy's sons were about to get into an all-out fist fight with Ray J at a recent Halloween party, but put their plans on pause thanks to Chris Brown. Chris Brown has really cleaned up his image, especially from the DV stuff with Rihanna. That was like over 10 years ago. He's charging people like, what, $1,000 to take a picture? Chris Brown has displayed longevity when it comes to the music industry, and I think it's great for him. And so Chris Brown is also playing Superman because he's out here breaking up fights. Christian, Quincy, and Justin, that's Diddy's sons, they got into a heated face-off with Ray J outside of Terra Electra's Unruly Agency Halloween Bash. That was in LA. After the party was over with, Ray J went into the parking lot and was confronted by Diddy's sons. The boys surrounded Ray J and they were upset about public comments Ray J made about Diddy and his diddling.
Do you forgive somebody for taking somebody's ass? There's a lot of people out here taking from people. Not only like people are getting robbed of not only their money and their spirituality. They're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood. Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Do you chuckle? Do you laugh? Do you help? Do you criticize? Because I see a lot of jokes out there right now talking about baby oil. Everybody got a joke about having baby oil and lube. Is that okay?
Yikes. Yikes.
Ray J on his show was talking about preventing abuse in the music industry, and he's right. So Ray J has said that he's always been open to having a conversation with Diddy and Diddy's sons about the whole situation. But in my experience dealing with the nigga tree, people don't want to have a conversation when it's true or there's some validity to it. What possible conversation could have when it comes to niggas and the nigga mentality? They don't want to talk about stuff because they'd rather use their fists and use force to silence people because they don't want the truth to come out there. Once the truth gets out there, they would rather strong arm their way to bullying people into saying that, okay, we don't care what you think. If you say what you think, we're going to put a fist down your throat.
What? What the fuck?
And that's what Ray J basically found himself in a situation like it's WWE. The group were getting in each other's faces, chest bumping. And Justin and Christian made it clear they wanted to fight because, like everybody else knows, this is real. There's no more talk. There's no more sorting it out, especially because the moneymaker, the breadwinner, may be going to jail. Let's say if Diddy does plead guilty or he is found guilty, that not only hurts Diddy, but it also hurts all the family members because they're not really known for anything outside of being Diddy's kids. Also, you got to take into consideration that Justin has been named in a lawsuit alleging harassment and assault by Rodney Jones Jr., also known as Little Rod. Diddy's kids, not necessarily the daughters, but the sons have their hands dirty. That's what they've been taught and conditioned to do, is to solve stuff with your fists, especially if there's a possibility you're guilty, because it's easier to shut someone up by threatening them, even with physical violence, than actually taking accountability.
Emotional damage.
And so Chris Brown, who witnessed everything going on from his car, rushed over and diffused the situation with Ray's manager by pulling Justin and Christian away. The situation is not going to be mended ever. You're not only dealing with a monster who is Diddy, but also the offspring of monsters. And this wasn't the first time the Diddy sons have confronted Ray J. The kids have approached him several times prior to discuss the singer's comments, really to fight him. Because if you fight him and embarrass him and punk him, that conversation will be louder than the stuff that they're accused of. And Ray J did the right thing by speaking out against the industry. The problem that I have, and why in the previous video that I mentioned the whole we're not seeing anything as far as the Me Too movement, is because, yeah, you got people filing civil suits, which is a good thing for them because they are victims, but you're not really seeing anybody in the industry or enough people to actually name names, especially people in positions of power. You have people say, well, I've seen tapes, I've gone to parties, I've heard stuff, but no one actually saying that they know for a fact they've seen this and that. And the reason being is because if you've actually have seen something and didn't intervene, didn't tell law enforcement, now there's a question of, are you an accomplice? Were you complicit? And nobody wants to have that conversation. So Ray J highlighting the issues with Hollywood is good, but unfortunately Ray J has the worst reputation. He's known as being a clown for his antics when it comes to reality television scene.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's not really a voice that really carries a lot of weight, but he has gone into the news as far as his confrontation, the comments that he made. So for some reason, he wanted to go on to Nicki Minaj's live and I guess discuss what happened with the club. The somewhat irony is that Nicki Minaj, she's married to Kenneth Petty. When she met him, he was a registered offender. Obviously, she's okay when it comes to predatory behavior because she married it and even had a child with it. And love who you love, be with who you want to be with. But this is probably the last person you want to have a discussion with as far as with the Diddy situation, because there's predators and then there's predator apologists and then there's predator sympathizers. She's not going to be sympathetic to anybody exposing something that has predatory behavior, since she has an invested interest in protecting predatory behavior. She's no different than the people who knew what Diddy was doing as far as giving people substances and taking advantage and then looking the other way or helping him lure in victims, helping him hide stuff, or speaking about the victims. I'm jealous of you because look at all the stuff that you get as far as opportunity, money, trips around the world, and you ain't got to do nothing to get it. So you got those people who are basically sympathizers. He went on there and it seemed like he was acting like he was slow, playing around, like trolling, basically making a fool of himself. And it's a 41-minute live stream with Nicki talking down to him, clowning him. It's a mess. It's 41 minutes. We're not going to listen to the entire 41 minutes or react to it, but we're going to just focus on some highlights.
I've been a barb. You know that. I thought I was a part of this whole movement. Like now, my heart dropped. Like if you a diehard barb and then like you like feel like the ticket was like revoked or it was discontinued.
So he comes on talking about he's a barb and all that. He reminds me of the Wiley Show. He comes on acting like he's slow, acting like he's a fan. Nicki's not buying it. I'm not buying it either. Just him coming on like that pretty much destroys any little weight that he had talking about the whole Hollywood situation. So he comes at her like a clown and she treats him like one.
I'm like, damn, I don't know, man. I gotta send you like it'll do something to you. So I'm happy that you reach out back and let me come on live because am I not a barb? I can't be a barb. I mean, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm a barb.
You were commenting on my live while I was talking to Mike.
A lot. Okay,
I'm sorry,
Nicki.
What's up?
But I'm a barb.
Exactly. He tried to make it seem like Nicki reached out to him. He reached out to her. He's already starting off bad. When it comes to like this whole calling out Diddy stuff, if you're considered a celebrity, we need people to speak on what's going on and what's been said who actually have a good reputation. But a lot of people are not going to do that because they don't want to lose their career. They don't want to hurt any connections that they have. They don't want to lose any coins. When it came to Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby and that movement, those women were in the industry and putting their neck on the line and risking stuff. I'm not saying that there needs to be Caucasian women to come forward with this, but really it needs to be more men to come forward with this. And the reason being is because a lot of the victims are men and they were youngsters back when the stuff happened. And when people are talking about it, they're speaking about stuff in general, but they're not naming names. It needs to be more men coming forward, naming names, especially black men, because it's kind of coming across that black people are the perfect victim, especially when it comes to the music industry, because there's been a culture promoted accepting debauchery, getting to the bag, being degenerates. And so if people want the industry to be taken serious again, they should come forward and call stuff out. No one really respects the music industry as being anything more than a place where black people or people of color or minorities are being exploited by the JEWSs.
And is
Good
it
for
okay
you. What's up?
that's how you treat your barbs?
No.
Like Nicki, what's up?
What's up? You
I'm
want attention?
excited.
What's up?
I don't.
You too.
I was just in here. I was in here just like everybody else, just having a good time. Innocently in here, just responding.
So first he says, Nicki, you reached out to me. She checked him and let him know, no, that's not what happened. You came to me. And now he's saying that he was just in here having a good time as a barb. He's a whole clown out here.
Jeez, nuts.
And having a good time, enjoying the vibe. And then now I'm just like totally like almost exiled because somebody that I'm like into as an artist is telling me like that they not being right to me. It's not fair. That's not cool.
I didn't know that you were doing auditions still. I didn't know that you had a script.
For what? I didn't even know. Like, this is all a surprise to me. If I knew I was going to be on here, I would have had a different outfit on. I got my pajamas on. Like, I'm like, this is like the way I'm being treated is unfair.
The reason why we played that much is that I wanted to show you that Ray J is doing all this for attention. Him calling out people in Hollywood is for attention. Him coming on Nicki Minaj's podcast is for attention. Attention is currency, and I understand. But the problem is that he's in the way as opposed to helping victims find a way or to help predators get out of the way. He's in the way, and he's creating more of a mess with his antics than he is as far as being helpful. So instead of going through the entire interview, because it's like 41 minutes of shenanigans and nonsense, thanks to all hip hop, they have a breakdown. We're going to go off of that. So after dodging the question with irrelevant, rambling answers, and trust me, it gets really, really bad, he confirms what happened. According to Ray J, it's not the first time he's had a run-in with Diddy's sons. Quote, "We didn't have a fight. We had a big argument right outside the club. This time, I think I got loud and got aggressive, but it was the third time this happened, and so I felt like I needed to stand up for myself." Ray J claimed that although he was talking crap and he and Diddy's sons exchanged a lot of crazy words, he attempted to defuse the situation. He says, "I was walking that way to avoid the issue." So that's what's going on, and it's unfortunate. But what's dope is that we all got on the phone and we talked for about 35 minutes. When Nicki Minaj quizzed Ray J asking what they were arguing about, he admitted comments I was making on my show, which we just played. And Ray J mocked Diddy during a wild rant on his show, The Reality Check News. He joked about the allegations saying butts are being taken and made a wisecrack about coming out with baby oil line. Yeah, he's been a whole clown out here and they were checking him about it. And so he's not really a stand-up guy. He's more of a talker, clown. He hasn't really done anything significant. And so Ray J says that he wasn't proud of what he said to Diddy's sons. If you're going to call out Diddy, call out his son or sons, call out the Hollywood industry as far as the assault stuff, you got to be prepared to make enemies. You got to be proud. You got to stand 10 tones down. And most of the people who are speaking out about it are people that a lot of people don't know, or they're not naming names, or they're saying stuff and then they turn around and make it about themselves versus about what they've actually seen, naming names and saying stuff that actually can add teeth to the conversation as to what's going on. With Diddy, everybody has no problem dogpiling on Diddy, but Diddy wasn't the only one. He's not the only one. He wasn't the only one in those hotel rooms. He wasn't the only one grooming people, luring people in. A lot of people need to be named. Really, it should be outside of civil suits, because with the civil suits, it appears to be a cash grab. Even though these people are actually victims, just them coming forward now with a lawsuit going to lawyers, it seems like it's a cash grab after Cassie got her payday. So outside of civil suits and doing interviews where people are making it about themselves and talking cryptic, people need to be loud and proud and stand 10 toes down as to what's going on, name names and say stuff, even at the risk of your own career. Ray J's coming across as being a clown. He says it was a crazy night. He got over cocky and said some things that were out of bounds. I mean, what can you say out of bounds if Diddy's out here being a predator? And so is his son. Nothing you can say is out of bounds. Call it out. If you really care about victims, attack these people. And Nicki Minaj is the worst person to talk to about this because of the fact that she is aligned with and married her husband, who's a registered offender. He said some over-the-top things that had to do with putting things inside of an exit, a person's exit, and other things. Ray J explained that 8 men, including the Combs siblings, tried to rush him. However, he credits Chris Brown with stepping in and preventing things from getting out of hand. If you're going to expose the monsters, you got to be prepared to fight the monsters. And you would think that Ray J, the way he was talking tough when he called into the Breakfast Club talking about Fabulous, that he'd be about that life, but he's not. Ray J was saying that people's butts were being taken and no one can explain, while speaking on Diddy accusers and his ongoing indictment on trafficking and racketeering. So yeah, Ray J's a whole clown out here. I don't think that he's the best person to really be taken serious as far as this conversation. And it's unfortunate because most of the people who are considered celebrities that are household names, or at least you know about, they're really doing it for chasing clout, and it's sad. So what do you think?
Spade. Parkland.
Get on your Cash App, $
Spade. Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in. $
Spade. Parkland.